we're going to talk about nurturing the cradle of your intimate self, and this is nurturing your pelvic health. This is so often overlooked, but did you know that 16 to 30 million women suffer from incontinence in the United States? So what I want you to learn about is what you can do to strengthen your pelvic floor and create great pelvic health. I have an agenda on this last section. I want to make sure that every single woman who leaves here today knows how to do a Kegel. Do you know what a Kegel is? Okay, well, Brad and Napoleon, you're going to do them too. Okay, taking care of our pelvic health is very important. And I obviously prepared way too much for this seminar today. I need another 2 hours. And you know what? I possibly could do it, you know? I mean, once you get me going, I won't stop. But one of the things that I really want you to do, every single one of you, besides take your basal body temperature, I want you to practice Kegels, because when our pelvic floor becomes loose, like a loose hammock, we get incontinent, okay? Incontinence is not fun. Why is it not fun? Because you shee-shee in your pants, okay? We have all these pictures of the pelvic floor. You can read this. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. The vulva here, very important that we keep that hydrated. In women who have had breast cancer, I use a black cohosh vitamin E suppository. There are also other lubricants. In your handout, I gave you something on Sensuo Organics. They have a wonderful lubricant. You want to use a good lubricant when you make love, okay? They also make one, they're homeopathic. They also make one for women who've been through chemotherapy, radiation, to keep those tissues hydrated through more of an energetic means. We want to maintain our vaginal and vulvar health. One of you asked me, well, what kind of estrogen cream would I use at my vulva? You'd want to use an estriol cream. We want to keep the tissues of that vulva healthy and strong, okay? This is one area that, even though I have this family history of breast cancer, I will use this stuff. I don't want dust bunnies in my vagina. And remember that the urethra is estrogen-sensitive tissue. So if the urethra becomes dehydrated, and these are some of your vaginal lubricants, again, in your handout. If your urethra becomes dehydrated, the muscles that you are more prone to incontinence, you are more prone to urinary tract infections, okay? We have a urinary sphincter here that is supported by these pelvic floor muscles. Okay? We need to learn how to contract and strengthen them. And this is what we're going to do. I think we've got another picture here. Oh yeah, check this out. So here we have pelvic floor muscles, and here we have muscles relaxed. Here we have them strong. See what happens when you squeeze those muscles? It squeezes around the urethra, so it strengthens them. Now men need to do this too. And see this? This is good. This is inadequate. You don't want to have a saggy hammock down there, okay? You want to have a nice tight hammock. See all these muscles? They do not get exercised unless you have a lot of sex. So you have a choice. You can have a lot of sex, or every time you come to a stoplight, you think Kegel, okay? Or you can do both. Okay, so here's the deal. This is what we're all going to do right now. Everyone get their feet on the floor. Just sit, get comfy. Okay. You're not going to use your butt. You're not going to use your thighs. What you're going to do is you're going to squeeze your anus and the lower part of your yoni down there, nice and tight, and relax. Here's how we're going to do Kegels. You squeeze for 2 seconds. You relax for 2 seconds. Squeeze for 2 seconds. You relax for 2 seconds. Now we're going to squeeze for 10. Ready? Maybe let's do 5. Squeeze. And relax. You can slowly work your way up to 10 seconds. We had a group of young women go into a biofeedback room where a woman had this probe in her vagina to do biofeedback on her Kegels. None of us young women could do what the 70-year-old woman could do with the biofeedback. None of us. I mean, she had been practicing, okay? So every stoplight you come to from now until you die, guess what you're doing? You're doing Kegels. If you need it, if you have really loose Kegel muscles, you really just can't get there, and you have incontinence, you can buy this at Times Supermarket. It's about $80, $85, right? And it's a little biofeedback machine you can use yourself. You put this little probe in your yoni and you squeeze, and you can see how strong your vaginal muscles are. Okay, you guys have been a fantastic audience, and thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it.